Well, I think our role dates back to the early, I think, 2010, maybe before that, where we developed the first set of education awareness products out of our tsunamis and other coastal hazards warning program. Uh, those products have also found its way into the work being done initially by what is called the CTIC, Caribbean Tsunami Information Center. It's a partnership, and so the material was updated and branded jointly for representation of the partnership. But we've developed these pieces of material. It's available on our wereready.org website, so that provides for an ongoing sharing of the awareness and the knowledge to the broader Caribbean public. That's how CDEMA sees itself within the context of public awareness as a regional institution, looking at the value-added products that we can develop that member states can tailor to their cultural context. We've done them in numerous languages. Our member states include French-speaking and Dutch-speaking members. So we've produced the awareness tools and products in those languages as well, so people can, in fact, in those countries, see what we're saying, use it quite easily within their respective communities. I think it is also something that may also have been done in Creole, considering that there are Creole-speaking communities within the CDEMA member states. That's something we will continue to do within the context of our knowledge management program. As you may know, one of the pillars of CDM speaks to knowledge, CDM knowledge used for effective decision making. Part of that is to ensure that people understand risk, know how to react to it. And so we will continue to fulfill that particular duty as a regional institution, working certainly with other partners. Well, let me say that I'm fully in support of our member states really going down the pathway of putting in all of the various elements to be classified as a tsunami-ready community, and by extension, tsunami-ready states. Part of that process involves interventions that will benefit not just for tsunami readiness, but the broader hazard readiness for floods, earthquakes, you name it. It involves communities being organized and mobilized. That is also one of the focus of the CDM strategy, which is looking at community resilience building. We have to look also at the institutional arrangements for warning and disseminating the warning. So that's what we found, is that there are different partners who are doing different elements, but they're not all being done in one specific location. We also are concerned about the broader policy level arrangements around early warning to ensure that there's sustainability of this. And so that's an area we will be focusing on, while our partners will perhaps do the instrumentation, they may do the modeling. We are trying to ensure that the enabling environment is put in place, but also that a more comprehensive approach is undertaken for the communities specifically. So we support the Tsunami Ready program. We will continue to support our member states with financing. I mean, we do have what we call a country direct fund, through which our member states may be able to do some of the elements that are necessary for them to achieve this accreditation. But we will also look at some of the other policy and legislative-based issues that are necessary. It's a very challenging road, I would say, because we find as people where we don't have the consistent experiences with these kinds of hazards. We lapse into a sense of complacency. It drifts very deep in our memories, and it's not only in the context of tsunamis. We've seen it in the case of hurricanes and storms. The farther you go away from the last event, more people tend to forget, and you will have a generation that has not experienced these things. And this is why storytelling is important. I use storytelling, but the broader context within which I use it is how we continue to educate our children, because they will grow into the adults of tomorrow that will really embody this culture, this risk management culture we're striving to achieve here with CDEMA, with our partner states, participating states, and other partners. That's the only way we're going to change that whole landscape of how people react to risk, and in particular tsunamis. You know, tsunamis have occurred in the region. If you look back at the historical records, I think the last known tsunami in the Caribbean would have been in the 1940s, which was Dominican Republic, I do recall. So that was even Spanish speaking. And back then, the Caribbean, even though a small place, we weren't as close as we are now as a Caribbean, where the media allows us to see a lot of what is happening. So many people don't know about that. And so therefore, that story within the broader Caribbean consciousness is lost. In the Haiti 2010 earthquake, it was said that there was a small tsunami that killed a farmer and his I think, children and a few of his livestock on the southern peninsula. Again, that's a story that has not been effectively told. So, I apologize. It's a story that has not been effectively told. So, one of the things we have to try to work on is this whole idea of storytelling. How do we continue to educate our public, use opportunities like the Tsunami Awareness Day that is coming up November 5th, use National Disaster Preparedness Month activities, which some countries have, as an opportunity for going through a comprehensive suite of the hazards to which the Caribbean is vulnerable, and use that as an opportunity to talk about not just hurricanes and earthquakes, but also tsunamis and what can occur, but also how we tell our children stories growing up about these experiences. The story in Japan of the first tsunami early warning, as rudimentary as it was, I think is a fantastic story to tell children, about how this man, using his local knowledge and experience, was able to go up into the hills, light the fire, to draw the attention of the public to go and see it. That might not work in our current cultural context, but what it does, it really shows the opportunity for being innovative, to use ways and means of communicating with our various publics to bring their attention to these things. So I think that's where we're going to have to go. It is going to be a process of change over many years, because our adults are now, in a sense, set in their ways. So we work with the children, and they will, that they will tell their parents what is the right things to do, and some parents may adjust to that, but then hopefully the children will become the kind of people of the future that is risk conscious, risk aware, like our Japanese colleagues.
Thank you very much.